guys, this is Frozen Wish Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on Tron Ares. So, Tron Ares is the third installment in the Tron franchise, and it came out just very recently in 2025. And it is directed by Joaquin Browning, the same director as Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and just last year, Young Woman in the Sea. Um, and it stars Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Evan Peters, Jodie Turner-Smith, Gillian Anderson, Jeff Bridges, Hassan Minaj, Arturo Castro, Cameron Monaghan, etc. And so the film tells a story taking place 15 years after the events of Tron Legacy. Sam Flynn has resigned from NCOM and has now been missing. He is absent in the film, although I'll talk more about that later on in the film. And so the sister of the real hero of the film, Eve Kim, takes over Sam Flynn's role as the CEO of NCOM. But unfortunately, she passes away, and so the role is passed on to Eve Kim herself. Eve Kim is very insecure about living up to her sister's legacy, worrying that she might not be able to succeed. But then she finds this code that that Encom's a rival company, the Dillinger company, has been looking for, and so she keeps the code for herself, and that really triggers the company under the new CEO, Julian Dillinger, the son of the Dillinger villain from the first Tron movie. And yeah, but the main plot actually revolves around Julian Dillinger's AI creation, Ares, a program that is well created by Julian, and so yeah, and but with Eve Kim on the run with the code, Julian Dillinger uses his program Ares, as well as his secondary program Athena. They both have to take down the Eve Kim and retrieve the code so that the Dillinger can have it. But then but then Arisa starts to develop feelings mainly towards Eve Kim after looking at her, and so he malfunctions, and give he goes on his own journey to to become human, and that leads Athena to hunt down Ares, and yeah, so that's the plot for it. So now, when it comes to the Tron movies, I personally view the Tron franchise as the definitive theme park movie. What do I mean by this? Well, it is a movie that relies so heavily on a visual spectacle, especially with like the stuff like more bike light cycle and all that stuff, and death touring, all stuff that you can just like experience by watching these movies, like as if it's a theme park ride. And I am aware that there is a Tron ride at Disneyland, the light cycle. I have yet to try it, but my dad has, and it's actually his favorite Disneyland ride ever. So within the next few years, I am planning to go to Shanghai. I just got my China visa. Although yes, there are other countries that I want to go to fulfill them beforehand, but Shanghai is most notably one of my bucket list places to go through. To go to, especially with the Shanghai Disneyland and the Tron Cycle. Yeah, I'm really hyped. Sorry, I'm really excited to try that out. So yeah, Tron is one of the most influential properties for Disney, especially for in the case of introducing the light cycle, an event that has already become an icon thanks to Disneyland. And yeah, now when it comes to my personal thoughts on the Tron movies, I think the first Tron is should I call it overrated now? I honestly was never a fan of that first Tron movie. I think the first Tron movie is very outdated. The visuals look absolutely distracting. It looks like something out of the 60s. And I know people are going to make things use, oh, but Frozen, the first Tron came out in the 80s. It looks out, of course, it was going to look outdated. I mean, first of all, when you have 80s stuff films like Back to the Future, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the other two Indiana Jones sequels in the OG trilogy, and what else? I guess Die Hard. Would I count Die Hard? I'm not sure if Die Hard counts, but oh well. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Blade Runner. Yeah, all visually stunning movies that hold up to this day. Like you can't use the old it's an old movie from the early 80s excuse to defend John's visuals. So yes, I admire what they're trying to do, what they were trying to do back then. I admire it, but it just doesn't really hold up to this day. Plus the fact that the movie is poorly paced, it is kind of boring, and a vast majority of the characters, except for Kevin Flynn and Tron himself, are very forgettable. But Tron Legacy is a huge improvement from it, from that first Tron movie. And I know that the Tron Legacy is the fan favorite, the Tron movie. I can totally see why. Tron Legacy was actually one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite childhood movies. So I was probably the film's biggest lover back in the day. When people still took crap on Tron Legacy. But and even when I reviewed it on Airbox back in 2020, I was such a laughing stock. Like people laughed at me for praising Tron Ares. But now, guys, people can actually see where I was coming from with the praise. People actually praise the film now, and yeah, it is the definition of a film that has gained a cult following over the years. However, I wouldn't say that I'm on the same boat as them. As you know, there are people who would consider Tron Legacy to be like a 5 out of 5 masterpiece. On rewatch though, I will say I don't think Tron Legacy is as good as it's the masterpiece I remember it being. The movie does have some flaws, like a very thin, bare bones story and way too much exposition. I mean, the quiet scenes are very unengaging. Like I don't want to just watch characters just sitting down and talking and be like, oh, remember this? I used to be like this back then. Like I don't want to see that. But it's probably the most visually stunning Tron movie. It has the best. It has the most badass action for a Tron movie, and I like all the characters, especially Korra. And now that leads me into Tron Ares, and I was pretty excited for this. Now, granted, guys, I was not over the moon about this movie. I was not like super excited for it. That I would go as far as considering this one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Sorry if I sound iffy, guys. I am a tad bit sick. I am at least healthy enough to make videos, but yeah, you guys just have to bear with it. But as I was saying, yeah, Charter is like I knew that it was not going to be. It was going to be far from one of the best movies of the year, but it still looked pretty awesome for the trailer. So I have seen the film twice now. And the first time I really liked it, but I wasn't sure how much I liked it. I already gave it a specific rating, but I dropped something. But as I was saying, I gave this film a specific rating, but I wasn't sure I had to revisit it, and then I revisited it in just yesterday. It was not just like a me only screening as um it was a birthday movie for my brother and also some of my cousins too. My whole so it was like a large crowd of me, my family, my cousins watching this. And yeah, I am honestly not surprised to see this movie getting mixed reviews. at least it's not like horribly bad reviews as I fear was going to be. It, give and believe it or not, guys, the Rotten Tomato score is actually higher than Tron Legacy, which is pretty insane. And but yeah, at least there are some people who like the film. However, there the people who hate this movie outright hate it with a burning passion, and they go as far as calling it one of the worst movies of the year. And then you got the sexist, the anti-SJW grifters who say, this movie is woke, Greta Lee, girl boss. I'll talk more about that later when I talk about Eve Kim, because I got things to say about that. And yeah, this movie bombed at the box office. I know that the main reason people stepped away from the movie was because of Jared Leto. It's not because of the fact that he ruined the Joker, and also and also um was in Morbius as well. But I heard that Jared Leto is apparently a sexual predator and a pedophile, and he's like a cult leader too. Now, and I did not know about anything about these things until now. Believe that, but yeah, not a Jared Leto fan at all. But I personally did not mind him being in this movie. And to me personally, in my point of view, one reason why this movie bombed so hard is the fact that these PG-13 straight Disney movies, not counting Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Studios, they've really lost its audiences. Like when looking at the times of one of these straight Disney movies got a PG-13 rating, yeah, they tanked hard from Jungle Cruise to Haunted Mansion. Yeah, it seems like there's like little to no audiences for these PG-13 live action Walt Disney Studios movie. Might as well just let 20th Century Studios release them or something. Even if I still advocate for PG-13 Disney movies to succeed, I'm sick of people saying, "Oh, but Disney is a kids studio. Disney movies are just for kids." Yeah, I went into the second viewing of Tron Ares thinking my thoughts were gonna slightly decline, but yeah. So my review of this movie will be based on that second viewing I watched, my second opinion, because now I have an opinion that I am very sure about, and I gotta say, to my surprise, I actually like this movie even better on rewatch, like slightly better. Tron Ares is fucking awesome, and it is honestly my favorite Tron movie. Yes, guys, this movie tops Tron Legacy as the best Tron movie ever. I don't care what anyone else says. Now, granted, is this movie a flawless masterpiece? No, I don't think it is that flawless. Yeah, there are a few issues I had with the film. Yeah, I had pretty conflicting feelings about the first 30 minutes in my first viewing. If you guys saw my out there reaction, you know that I was not sure of whether or not I liked the first 30 minutes or not. And and after revisiting the film for myself, I gotta say, yeah, the first 30 minutes was not very good. It's not bad, but I'd say it's more of like pretty mediocre stuff. The first 30 minutes of the film meandered, dragged, and it took such a while for even the action to start. But to be fair, Tron Legacy also had the same flow with a strong start. Now, one of the things that people had concern about going in is Jared Leto. Leto, and yeah, and to me, yeah, Jared Leto was hit or miss in this movie. His weak performance was present within the first 30 minutes. Since he clearly is convincing as an AI. Uh, but there are some good moments in Jared Leto's performance that I'll probably talk about later on. The only interesting moments in that first 30 minutes was anything from Eve Kim, like Eve Kim, like growing that AI tree, and which was where she got the code from, and then Eve Kim's game getting hacked by Julia Dillinger. Well, yes, Eve Kim is a game designer, by the way. I should mention that too. But every time the movie cuts away from it seems to focus on Aries or like maybe Dillinger, it just kind of loses me. Well, I was semi engaged by Dillinger's scenes, but not as much as Eve Kim. Oh yeah, and also I strongly dislike Seth. I cannot stand Seth. Basically, he's basically the assistant of Eve Kim. He is completely annoying and just yeah, really annoying. He's meant to be Eve's assistant, but all he does is just bothers Eve and doesn't even help her. But that's all I have for my flaws. Now we can get into what I love about this movie because there is a lot of like positivity in this film. Now in my unfair reaction, I call this the most visually stunning movie of the Tron franchise. And we all know that both the visuals and the score and like pretty much anything technical wise are the standout elements of a Tron movie. I said that Tron Ares was the most stunning Tron movie. The more I think about it, the more I realize, and even on this rewatch, I overpraised the visual effects of Tron Ares. I don't think they're more visually stunning than Tron Legacy. And that's mainly simply due to the fact that Tron Ares has slightly more VFX limitation, given that this movie mostly takes place on Earth. But even the grid in this film doesn't look as good as the grid in Tron Legacy. And Tron Legacy was a game changer. I'll give it that at least there's nothing to point out when it comes to criticisms with Tron Ares' visuals. So while Tron Legacy did have the that uncanny de aging of Jeff Bridges as Clue. Seriously, why didn't you just get another actor to play Clue like Kurt Russell, I guess, or maybe someone who looks like him? No, actually, guys, I did suggest Kurt Russell in Tron Legacy, but if I were to personally cast a different actor to play Clue besides Jeff Bridges, my personal pick would have been Aaron Eckhart. Yeah, from aka Harvey Dent from The Dark Knight. I think not only does Aaron Eckhart look the part, but he has played a villain role before. So I think Aaron Eckhart would have been great as Q. But but do you want to know what this movie does better than Tron Legacy when it comes to the technical aspects? The visuals. So no, sorry, not the visuals. The music from Nine Inch Nails. I thought, great. I dropped the same shit again. All right. So anyway, so as I was saying, um, I'm sure we all love Daft Punk, and we thought Daft Punk was not going to be topped, but Nine Inch Nails managed to top Daft Punk when it comes to the music of Tron Ares. It is absolutely electrifyingly awesome. And even really enhances like the feel of the movie. I think the moment from the soundtrack that gets stuck in my head was like the light cycle chase scene with Ares rescuing Eve. I'll talk more about my favorite moments later on. Oh, and also the action scenes. I enjoy this movie's action scenes more than Tron Legacy. I think the action is the most badass yet, and it has twice the aura farming that Legacy had. And the stakes were raised higher, especially in the climax with Athena using the Tron grid thingy to invade Earth. Now, yes, I mostly talk about the style, but how is the substance? It's there at least. The story is okay, but nothing much else. There's like just no wow factor of the storyline to the film, but it's not a bad story. I like how the story is very relevant to today's technological disadvantages, tackling themes of AI and technological, disadvantages, and And there's even an allegory on Elon Musk as a job. The character of Julia Dillinger is basically a jab on the Elon Musk. Yeah, he's like the fictionalized Elon Musk. The plotline of Eve Kim continuing on Southland's journey could have been explored more, but it does enough for me to still praise the plotline. It is such a compelling plot, and you really feel bad for Eve Kim losing her sister and her sister, and Eve Kim is, despite having to take over the role as the CEO of Encom, she gets very insecure by it. Yeah, she actually has character arc. She has character flaws. So, to all the grifters who say that Eve Kim is a girl boss and a woke character, go fuck yourselves. Grow up. Stop hating on female characters. Like that whole female character hate shtick is seriously getting old now. Y'all need to just get over it. The main plot with the AI Pinocchio storyline is pretty okay. I mean, it's a pretty unique take on AI and Pinocchio. But yeah, I will say that comparing to the two blockbusters this year that tackle the theme an AI theme, I think Mega 2.0 didn't bear. So yeah, what else? The characters are way better than people make them out to be. Even though Jared Leto had a bad Android performance at first, he actually improved later on when he started to develop as a human, when he started transitioning into a human being with feelings. Jared Leto's performance was what got actually good to me. I started to appreciate him more. The character of Iris had such strong character development, and I actually cared about him. This film featured two of the best villains in the film. Julia Dillinger is a character where the writers did such a good job at making him so hateable. And man, Evan Peterson really knocked it out of the park in embracing his villain role from Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, the true crime series where Evan Peterson played as Jeffrey Dahmer, the criminal in that film. But the Athena to me is the better villain in the film. I used to say Julian Dillinger in the first watch, but on rewatch it's Athena who is the better villain. Unlike Jared Leto, Jodie Storr-Smith actually succeeded in convincing viewers that her character is an android. She clearly acted like an android, but as expected, Greta Lee is the MVP of not only the film but the entire TRON franchise in general. She was the main reason I was pretty excited for this and absolutely delivered. Although Eve Kim was not a girl boss, she was a total badass. So especially when she pulled off those motorcycle stunts during the light cycle chase, which was pretty similar to the Tom Cruise motorcycle stunt in Mission Impossible Fallout. Um, and yeah, that was awesome. And she, not only was she a badass, but she had such a interesting character development and felt like the real main character in the film. She was the true protagonist of the story. Yeah, my favorite scene in the film personally would be that motorcycle light cycle chase inside the grid with where Ares saves Eve Kim from Athena. Yeah, that was an awesome moment right there. And yeah, what else? Oh yeah, and this movie had nonsense references to the other Tron movies, and it actually made it rather more faithful to the Tron franchise rather than disconnect from it. And this is like one of the cases of nostalgia done right. Like there was a scene in the film where Ares enters the grid from the original, and then we got to see all the stuff from that thing, which I forgot the name. What was called to like him writing the original light cycle. And of course Kevin Flynn's cameo appearance as a ghost, kind of similar to a Force ghost. Yeah, that was a great nod to the original. And yeah. And then the film will also ended with Sam and Cora getting acknowledged as Aris learning about the world begins a new quest to search for both of them, which sets up a Tron 4. We all know what if that would happen because of the box office bomb that this movie was, but it would make sense for Tron 4 narrative wise. So overall, Tron Ares is the best Tron movie and one of the most underrated movies of the year. It may not be without its flaws, but it is such a fast-paced thrill, like right from start to finish, with relevant themes and characters who are a hell lot better than people make them out to be, including the goat Tron characters like Eve. So I said, guys, I'm going to give Tron Ares a 4.5 stars out of 5. Great movie. So also for my review of Tron Ares, what are your thoughts on the movie? Would you agree with me that this is the best Tron movie ever? Would you, or are you one of those people who considers this as the weakest Tron movie? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. And yeah, my next planned video is a Halloween related video, but that's gonna be at the end of the month. So we'll see what videos I can do like for the next few days or week and slash or week. So yeah, bye guys.